Today we're gonna do a brake bleed. So the first thing you do when you do a brake bleed is get under here, and you want it, well, first thing is clean off, then take this off. Mine is broken, so I got a new one, so this one is not going back on, but got a new one to go back on there. It's a 1983 K5 Blazer, and show you how to bleed the brakes. Your master cylinder may look different than this unless you have an 83 K5 Blazer, in which case it'll look exactly like this. But I'm going to take the top off of this thing here. Keep that very clean. Don't throw it in the dirt. First thing I'm going to do is suck out the old crappy brake fluid that's in here with a good old turkey baster. You borrowed this from your kitchen. Don't put it back. Keep it in the shop. So the next time you do the repair, you don't want to be basting turkeys with this after you fill it with brake fluid. I wouldn't. I don't care how clean you say it is. I wouldn't want to eat out of this. Eat anything that's been in this brake fluid here. Now I'm not going to drain it to totally dry. I'm just going to drain it down to kind of like just below the minimum line. I don't want don't actually want it to be empty, because then air gets into the line and that's not good. We're just going to remove most of the fluid out. Brand new bottle of .3 brake fluid. You definitely want to start this job with this thing as full as possible. So all the way up to the maximum line on this. Now this one is not full, but you're supposed to use a brand new sealed bottle, but I know for a fact that this brake fluid is good because I just got it 2 days ago, and had done a brake bleed job with it, so it is good to go. This stuff is nice and clean. Okay, I got that reservoir nice and full, and for this brake bleed job I'm just going to leave that like that. I could put I'm going to replace all my bleeder valves in this job. So when I pull the old bleeder valve out, if this is covered and sealed, you're going to lose less brake fluid when you take the bleeder valve off, because what this is doing is it's allowing gravity work. If you seal it, then it's like a vacuum and it doesn't want to come out. So for this entire job I'm going to leave this off though, because I want that vacuum seal. When I go to do the actual bleeding, I want gravity to be able to work. I'm not going to pump the brakes. I've got a nice little suction doohickey that will work. So the reason I'm putting new bleeder valves on is that one of mine was sieged, and so I just got 4, and I want to have just all new bleeder valves. This time I have them with the little plastic covers, little like plastic rubbery things that go over the top that protect them. That's important to make sure that you don't get dirt and grime down into the bleeder valve, which will clog it and make it inoperable. So those little rubber things on the bleeder valves are kind of important. So you don't have to buy new ones every time you bleed the brakes. So anyway, I'm going to replace them. Okay, for this part of the job, I'm going to use, got an 8mm socket because I'm going to remove this one off of there and put the brand new one on, and so having the socket will make it a little easier to do. But step one, get all this dirt and grime off of there. So I'm gonna douse this with this stuff and try to using PB Blaster penetrating catalyst as my cleaning solvent, but it will also make the bleeder valve come out of there. Okay. Out. New one in. Important to have the new one ready to go. It is not going to leak. Okay. Speed bleeders, and so they have a little ball in there that only lets the liquid come out, not come back in. So that should make life a little easier. Since this is the first tire still supposed to bleed, and I do have the master cylinder in the wide open position, let's go ahead and hook up our little doohickey here for brake bleeding and see. Put that on there. Now, let's see if I build up a pressure here. Okay, I've got pressure built up, but nothing's coming out. So, 8mm wrench. Still have pressure. There we go. It's coming out. These little air bubbles are fine. May not actually have anything in this line here, so let's loosen it up a little more. Seems good enough. Got a little bit of a flow there. Definitely got pressure there. That's 30 pounds of pressure. No, sorry, 20 pounds of pressure, and it's just sitting there not moving. Pressure is not moving, and the fluid is not moving either. So, try loosening it up a little more. I want this to be moving. There we go, it's moving now. These little teeny air bubbles in here are fine. Those are not, those are just from the seal here not being on there great. This line is already pretty good shape. And you can see my little tube here is already full enough where what I should do is go refill the master cylinder. So I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that on there and go do that real quick. Okay, I'm gonna tighten this one back up. She's good. Pull old one out, put new one in. Oh, new one is bigger than a 10. Okay, new one is a 7/16 inch. New one, 7/16. Getting my hose hooked up. This one is of particular interest to me because I just did the brake line. And so, what I'm going to do, remember I got the master cylinder cap is off so that I can let gravity do its work. What I'm going to do with this is build up some pressure here. 15 pounds, oh I don't know, that's probably plenty, but put it up to 20 pounds. 20 pounds of pressure, not losing pressure fast, which means I've got a good seal here. And now I'm going to take my, oops, I need a 7/16 inch wrench now. Darn it, I'll be right back. 7/16 inch wrench, and got 20 pounds of pressure on there now. Let's loosen this guy up. There we go. Starting to flow. Definitely air bubbles there happening. I don't know if you can see this or not, but she's flowing pretty good. Pressure high. There we go, that seemed to help a little bit, twisted a little more. I definitely like these speed bleeder valves for a couple reasons. Not only do they have a little ball bearing in them that lets the fluid come out but not go back in. There's definitely air bubbles coming out of there. But in addition to that, they put some kind of like Loctite or something, some kind of material on the threads that makes it have a tight fit, where the other ones, like as soon as you pop them loose, they're just like loose and wobbly, and this one you can really you know, set how far screwed out you want it to be really easily. Oh boy, that thing is full and we need to stop. Didn't realize how much had come through. Alright, now I'm going to go fill the master cylinder back up again, because that's a lot that came out of that master cylinder, but that should be good for this side. So we tightened it back up. I can take the pressure off, take that guy off, let him flow back into the canister. Okay, let's get up. Going to repeat that procedure on the front tire. So as you can see, I still have my master cylinder off. I just topped it off. So off, I'm letting the gravity fill work. I'm not doing any brake pumping. Make sure you don't pump the brakes if you have this master cylinder cap off. If the cap is off, do not pump the brakes. You'll have a big mess. The little suction doohickey that I have works really good for doing this. Makes it super simple. One person operation. One more to go and I'm all done. I'm not going to video the last one.